krockfootball.com.au, the coaches catch-up continues, and we're going to talk about one of the feel-good stories of 2013. The Winchelsea Football Club hadn't played finals since coming back into the GDFL in the early 2000s, but this man, David Mensch, was able to guide them into the finals and even managed to pluck an elimination final win as well, making sure that the Blues had a solid foundation going into 2014. Menchie, firstly, I suppose it's a case of not having second-year Blues. How have you guarded against that with your playing group?
Yeah, that's obviously the big thing with the group. We've had a solid pre-season. We've done a lot more running this year, and everyone sort of got behind it. But at this stage, we'll I suppose wait till round one and see how it all transforms.
The list will remain fairly similar from what I understand, and I suppose with that continuity means that expectation probably grows.
Yeah, we signed everyone for a 2-year contract last year, so everyone that played last year is actually coming back on board, so that's a good thing. We didn't want sort of guys, maybe picking up 5 or 6 players and then having to replace guys 5 or 6 that go. So it's great that they've all opted in and got back on board, and obviously we've picked up 5 or 6 new blokes to add to our depth.
Obviously, last year was a bit of a magical mystery tour, wasn't it? Once you got to the finals, nobody really knew what to expect. What did it mean to the club to win a final and be back in September action?
Yeah, everything pretty much. Obviously, from a planning point of view, we wanted to give our young players a bit of a taste of finals footy. It obviously stepped up a notch out at St Albans there, and it was great to win a final and again, get so close to East Geelong there. I think we lost by 7 or 8 points there. It was even after the game, we just had to take all the positives out of it. And we had like I said, we played a couple of big games and there's some fairly big crowds. A lot of our supporters came and got behind us, which was great for the town and the club.
You've achieved a lot in footy. Obviously, you got to play in AFL Grand Finals. You've coached Country League Premierships. But where does that rank last year in your footballing experience? Does it rank pretty highly?
Yeah, fairly highly. Just, I suppose, where we came from. Obviously, the boys hadn't won a game for 25 games, and we had to just tick off a lot of hurdles throughout the year. Obviously, the first win, and then even mid-season, we were sort of unsure where we were at, and we had to win, I think, the last 6 or 7 games just to make finals. And just to make finals, and like I said, get those young kids a bit of a taste of it was great. So we're looking to obviously take the next step this year, and everything so far is looking good.
You've declared this will be your last year as a player, but will it be your last year as a coach?
That's a big question. Yeah, I'm just going to obviously sit down probably with the club mid-season and see where things are. I've been in footy, I suppose. Just got to try and add it up. A long while since I've been playing senior footy since I was 16. So I think it's 25, 26 years, and just see where things are at. I've got a young family too. My son's 13, so I probably need to spend a bit more time with him, and obviously giving a few kicks with him and that type of thing. So I'll weigh that up sort of mid-season, and we'll see how we go.
We're going to try and extend the career to try and play with him, were you?
Getting closer, actually. He's he goes all right. The young kids. I'll probably miss out on that one.
And obviously, have you done any recruiting at all to add to the list? Did you go out and identify anything that you just required to make sure that you got a bit deeper into September?
Yeah, we identified we didn't have probably the depth at the top 3 teams. We didn't beat any of the top 3 teams last year. So our major factors were to add to our depth. We're probably playing, we're sort of mid-season there. We're asking a few of the reserve players to come up, and they didn't really want to play, and we're sort of letting them sit on the bench most of the game. So it was probably frustrating for a few people, but we're obviously added a few more. We don't want to go away from the guys that are at the club, and we want to actually improve them. So, but at times there we were, the top teams, East and Belpost Hill, and obviously North Geelong, they had a lot more going through the midfield, where we probably only had the 4 or 5. So the better teams obviously had the midfield rotations, and that's where the footy's going at this stage. So we need to add a bit more depth to our midfield as well.
What role will you play on field this year? In the finals you were playing in the ruck. Is the hope to maybe finish your career in the goal square?
I'd like to do that. The only option, was to get another ruckman. So even with Big Daniel Hermans, he's probably similar to me. He's over the age of 30, and his body's probably not that reliable. So there'll be times there where I'd like to play more forward, but I feel like when I'm in the midfield, I sort of run things a little bit, and I can see the whole ground. So it's I like to do it. Obviously, just the body is probably can't stand up to what I did last year.
All right, first month of the season, you start with Bannockburn under lights Friday, April 4. You're the first two clubs to kick off the season locally, and then you run into North Geelong, Corio and Werribee Central. So a couple of finalists in there from last year, and of course last year's premier as well, obviously with North Geelong. It's an interesting first month.
Yeah, we had that similar thing last year. We played the grand finalists from the year before, so we know we've got Bannockburn will be a massive game. They'll probably be out to take our spot in the finals and from last year. So it's going to be a massive game. It'll be a fair few people will get there. Hopefully, it's nice conditions. So. And then obviously the week after play, I think North Geelong. So there's no easy games probably this year. So we've got to try and start well, and we'll obviously be going out first game trying to win that one.
And of course, a premiership hasn't been won by the club. I think you got to go back to 1987 for the last flag in the Colac League. But any truth in the rumour that you will push for the town name to be changed to Winchelsea if you do win it?
I joke around with the boys about that one, but until I win a premiership, or we win a premiership, I should say, I don't think that'll happen.
Menchie, always a pleasure to catch up with you. Best of luck. Looking forward to seeing you run around for the last time this year. You've been a great servant of football, obviously with the Cats, as we know, but also in country footy down here with Anglesea, Grovedale, and now Winchelsea. We wish you the best of luck.
No worries. Thanks, Kingy.
David Mensch there on the Coaches Catch Up, krockfootball.com.au.